In this video we talk about Blank Slate, which is a very simple, very casual party game by Usopoly. You can definitely play it with non-gamers, with gamers too. It's fun enough, spoiler of my conclusions, but it's fun enough that definitely gamers can also enjoy it, although they will not be using their gaming strategies in the game. It is about lateral thinking, it is about guessing what other people are thinking, it's about being creative but not too much, finding a right balance there. It plays, according to the box, from 3 to 8 players, but I really believe that for the game to be fun you need at least 5-6. I don't see this working very well with only 3 or even 4 for reasons that will be clear when I show you the gameplay. Good news is actually you can play with a very large group. If you have more than 8 players, you can still have them. You simply give each player a sheet of paper and they'll write down a sheet of paper instead on the official little boards that you will see here. Anyway, before I anticipate too much of my conclusions, let's take a closer look at Blank Slate. The components of the game. The game consists of a dry erase scoreboard where you will keep track of how many points players have, and the first player to reach 25 is the winner of the game. Then you have a set of dry erase little boards. Each player receives one, and each player also will get a dry erase marker. Once everybody has their little board and their dry erase marker, it is time to start playing using this set of cards. These cards all have a single word which is either followed or preceded by a blank. Like here we have blank, load, or time blank, string blank, blank room, etc., etc. Once we have the word, which is announced to the entire to the entire group, everybody, individually, independently, and secretly, writes a word on their board. It will be a word that, when added to the word that has been given in the position indicated by the blank, will either result in a compound word or in a two-word phrase. It is also possible to add a syllable to turn the word into another word. Say if it was pass, then you could add trees or tres, and it become trespass. You didn't add exactly a word, but a syllable. So the idea is to expand it into a new word. But everybody does this silently, secretly, and simultaneously. Suppose, for example, that, I don't know, Steve writes travel. And Clint writes agency. And Steven writes gem. And Natasha writes bandits, because she likes all movies. And someone else also writes bandits on the board upside down, incidentally. And we actually have a crazy group of cinephiles. More time bandits. So everybody will write down their words. Oh, and there's another crazy person that also wrote gem. Once everybody is done, you reveal all of the words that have been written, and you see if there are matches. If there are players, well, if there are 2 words that match exactly, so it's the same word, there's only one match, so only 2 players wrote that word, then each player scores 3 points. Pretty sweet. If there are matches that, however, have been made by more than 1 player, like in this case here, then each player in that match situation only scores 1 point. In which case, an agency and no matches, no point. So orange player scores 0, this player scores 0, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, and 3 points each to purple and green. You clean your dry erase boards, you put this one in the back, which is the discard, select another word, and repeat until a player has 25 points and the player is the winner of the game. So Blank Slate is surprisingly fun. I mean, from the rules I expected to be entertaining. I did not expect that we would go so well with my group, that we would be so excited, there would be so much laughing and cheering going around the room. Each session, I mean, each turn, of course, is very simple, and there is reasons, of course, to spend some thinking when you are selecting the word. Of course, you can just write the first word that comes to mind, and sometimes only one word comes to mind, so you go with that one, and that's it. You feel like, hey, I did what I could. But of course, then you'll try to think of the second most obvious word. You think of a word, and then like, okay, but this is too obvious. Can I think or something a little more obscure? And then if you know the other people, okay, other two people, only the people here are parents. Maybe I make a reference to cartoons, boring movies with talking animals that I have to watch with my daughters. Or, oh, only these two people play role-playing games. Maybe I can make a reference from Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons. So you're trying to read the other people. Of course, you should not communicate because, well, that's cheating, and also then you're depriving yourself of the fun of guessing how many people may be getting that word. And of course, there is a random element because you won't be able to read the people exactly, or you won't be able to ascertain how many of your 8 friends are gonna come up with the same association. But there is fun in that. So it's fun to try to figure out that word, but it's a very quick part of the turn. And then when there is the big reveal, which again I expect that, well, we're gonna score points. No, that is a social event. People are gonna show their boards, like, hey, I have this board, I have this word, I have this word. I'm gonna say, hey, house, brick, Lego, tree, how you said tree? Yeah, boom, high five. And then we realize, oh, you also did tree. That's okay, mini high five. So it's fun. You get that excitement to have a match, and everybody's looking for their match at the same time, and maybe you're disappointed because, oh, okay, I don't have a match, but you're gonna be playing the next turn in 30 seconds, so that's not a big deal. When you find that match, especially you believe there wasn't any match, and then you found that one, again, there's a big boost of adrenaline. There was a lot of cheering, a lot of high-fiving across the room, some minor dancing and raise the roof type of thing, and we're all respectable adults, so it was kind of fun to see my friends that got into this game much more than I expected. Because it is a game that, again, so simple, so linear, but it feels exciting. It's not other games, they're hilarious, they are meant to create fun associations. The associations here are not particularly amusing per se, although if you come up with something really creative and one other person, that there is that aspect. But very often the associations are very simple, but the excitement of looking for a match and finding out a match and making sure there is only one, well, that is just good. That is just fun. We definitely enjoy playing Blank Slate. I think it's a great party game for when you have a lot of friends that are visiting and they're not necessarily gamers, or you simply waiting for more people to come up, or in any case when you're too tired or it's not the right opportunity, not the right occasion to set up a big game or something complex. Again, that advantage is that it sets up so easily, you can teach it so easily, you can play it in 15 minutes if you want to do a shorter game, or you can play a bunch of games one after the other and be entertained for quite a while. In general, Blank Slate, yes, it is just a simple light party game, but within the category, it is a pretty fun one.